Listen to me. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is nothing. Not the kind of nothing that comes from giving up, but the kind that comes from knowing your worth so well you stop fighting for someone who doesn't know how to treat you right. See, when a man loses a woman who brought peace to his life, who stood by him, who gave him that love that can't be bought at any price, it might not hit him right away. At first, he might think he's free. He might think the grass is greener. He'll smile. He'll act like he's living it up. But time is a cruel teacher, because with time, the noise dies down. The people fade away. That newness wears off. And then he's left alone with his thoughts. And that's when it starts to hurt. That's when he remembers the way you laughed at his jokes, the way you cared when he was hurting, the way you believed in him when he didn't even believe in himself. And let me tell you something, memories don't just visit politely. They come back heavy. They knock on his heart when he's trying to sleep. They tap him on the shoulder when he's out with friends. And they whisper, "You had something good and you lost it." You don't need to call him. You don't need to prove you've moved on. You don't need to post 100 pictures trying to show him what he's missing. Trust me, time will do that work for you. The longer he goes without your love, your touch, your presence, the more that absence will grow into a weight he can't shake. And here's the beauty of it. While time is breaking him, time is building you. You're getting stronger. You're learning more about yourself. You're glowing differently because you're not carrying the stress he brought into your life. One day, he'll look back and realize losing you was the biggest mistake he ever made. But by then, you'll be in a place where you don't need him to say it, because you'll already know your value never depended on his recognition. So let time do what time does. Stay quiet. Stay graceful. And let him feel the full weight of a world without you in it. Silence is the strongest move you can make after walking away, because it speaks louder than any words you could ever say. It's not about playing games or trying to make someone guess what's on your mind. It's about choosing yourself, choosing your peace, and showing through your actions that you refuse to fight for a place in someone's life who didn't fight for you. When you walk away and you stay silent, you create space. And in that space, they start to notice the difference. They feel the shift. They realize that the constant presence they once took for granted is no longer there. The calls don't come. The messages stop. The comfort of knowing you'll always be around disappears. And it's in that absence that they start to understand just how much you were really giving, because silence forces a person to listen to their own thoughts. It removes the distractions. It lets reality sink in. Maybe when you were speaking up, expressing your feelings, telling them how their actions hurt you, they brushed it off. Maybe they thought you'd never leave. Maybe they thought your love was endless no matter how they treated you. But when you go silent, that's when they feel the shift in power. They can no longer control the conversation. They can't argue their way back into your good graces with empty promises. They can't pacify you with just words, because silence doesn't negotiate. It doesn't beg. It doesn't plead. It simply stands still and lets the truth reveal itself. And the truth is, people pay more attention to what they've lost when it's no longer available. Your silence creates curiosity. It plants questions in their mind that no answer can satisfy except your presence. They start wondering if you've moved on, if you're happier without them, if you've finally seen your own worth and realized they never deserved you. They start to think about the moments they dismissed, the times you showed up for them, the way you listened when no one else cared. And now that it's gone, it's like a void they can't fill. But your silence isn't just for them. It's for you, because it gives you space to heal, to reflect, to regain your sense of self. You start to realize that you don't need to explain yourself to someone who didn't value you when they had you. You don't have to repeat your worth over and over to someone who was never listening. Silence becomes your shield, your sanctuary, and your quiet reminder that you are in control of your own life. It's the proof that you can walk away without chasing, without proving, without seeking validation. And every day you stay silent, you're telling yourself that you deserve better, that you deserve peace, that you're strong enough to stand on your own, and that the right people won't need to be convinced to keep you in their life because they'll already know your value and treat you accordingly. Time turns temporary excitement into deep regret. Because in the beginning, when someone thinks they've moved on or made a better choice, everything can look bright and shiny. They feel a rush from the change. They think the grass is greener on the other side. They get caught up in the thrill of something new, something different, something they believe will fill the space you once occupied. In those early days, they're distracted. They're busy convincing themselves they made the right move. They might even post pictures, smile in public, laugh a little louder, trying to prove to the world and to themselves that they're fine. But time has a way of stripping away illusions because what's new will always become familiar, and what's familiar will be judged for what it truly is. As weeks turn into months, the reality starts to set in. The flaws in their choices become visible. The excitement they felt begins to fade. The rush isn't there anymore. The people or situations they chose over you start showing their true colors. And that's when the comparison begins. They start to remember the stability you brought, the loyalty you showed, the love you gave without conditions. They remember how you were there through the ups and downs, not just the good moments. They remember your voice, your care, the way you made them feel like they mattered, and slowly that temporary high turns into a quiet ache. They start to realize that they traded something rare for something common, that what they thought was freedom was actually a loss, because you can't replace a connection built over time with a momentary spark. Time takes away the excitement and replaces it with truth. And truth has a way of cutting deep. They begin to see that the people who are around them now may not have the depth, the understanding, or the patience you had. They begin to feel the emptiness in conversations, the lack of genuine support, the absence of someone who really knew them. It's in those moments when life gets hard, when the shine wears off, when the party's over and everyone's gone home, that regret begins to creep in. Regret doesn't usually come in loud and dramatic. It comes quietly late at night, in the pauses between distractions. It comes when they see something that reminds them of you, when they hear a song that takes them back, when they smell something that brings a memory rushing forward. And with every reminder, they feel the weight of the choice they made. The more time passes, the heavier that weight becomes, because they can't go back to the exact moment they lost you and change it. They can't rewind and fix the mistakes. They can't erase the fact that they took your love for granted, and time makes that reality sink in deeper and deeper. And while it's breaking them down, it's also showing you the truth about their character. It's proving to you that walking away was the right choice, because someone who truly valued you wouldn't need time to realize your worth. They wouldn't let temporary thrills blind them to what they had. But once that realization hits them, once they truly see that what they had with you doesn't come around often, regret becomes their silent companion. And no matter how much they try to mask it, no matter how many distractions they chase, time keeps peeling back the layers until they have to face the truth that the excitement they chased has long faded. And all that's left is the reality that they lost something they may never find again. Absence makes him face the reality of what he lost, because when you are no longer there, he's forced to live in a world without your presence. At first, he might not feel it. He might be surrounded by noise, distractions, or people who fill up his time. But slowly the quiet moments start to grow, and in those quiet moments, reality begins to speak. The routines that once included you now feel incomplete. The simple things that used to bring comfort now carry a reminder that something important is missing. He no longer has your voice to calm him down when his day gets heavy, your laughter to brighten up a dull evening, your encouragement when he feels unsure of himself. The absence isn't just about you not being there physically. It's about the emotional gap that's left behind, the conversations he can't have anymore, the warmth that's missing from his space, the feeling of being truly understood by someone who saw all of him and still chose to stay. And the more time passes, the clearer it becomes that what you brought to his life wasn't ordinary. It was rare, irreplaceable. and now it's gone, he starts to notice that other people don't care in the same way you did. They don't listen with the same patience. They don't show up without being asked. They don't remember the small details that matter to him. They don't look at him the way you did when you believed in him, even on his worst days, and that absence becomes heavier each time he realizes those things were never guaranteed. He thought they were just part of life, but they were part of you, and without you, there's an emptiness that lingers no matter where he goes. He might try to replace you with new people, new experiences, new distractions, but the truth is every replacement only makes him compare, and comparison is a constant reminder that he let go of something far more valuable than he understood. Absence has a way of making people replay moments over and over, wondering if they could have done things differently, wishing they had appreciated more while they had it. It makes them see the things they overlooked, the times they were careless with your feelings, the moments they brushed you off thinking you'd always be there. And it forces them to acknowledge that losing you was not just a passing event, it was a turning point, a loss that reshapes how they view love and connection. He begins to recognize that the world feels colder without you in it. The highs aren't as high, the comfort isn't as comforting, and no one else seems to bring that sense of home that you carried with you. Absence strips away the illusions he built for himself, the excuses he told himself to justify the loss, and it leaves him with nothing but truth, and truth has no mercy. It doesn't soften the blow. It makes him face the fact that you were more than just a part of his life. You were the balance, the anchor, the calm in the storm. And now without that, he has to live in the space he created by letting you go. And every day that goes by, every memory that resurfaces, every moment that feels incomplete without you in it becomes another reminder that what he lost is not coming back in the same way it left. Memories return heavier when you're no longer around, because when someone can no longer reach you, every recollection of you starts to carry a different weight. In the beginning, those memories might just flash through his mind without much impact. But as time passes and your absence becomes more real, those same memories begin to feel deeper, more vivid, more emotional. He starts remembering the little things he once overlooked, the way your voice sounded when you said his name, the way you looked at him when he was talking, the way your energy filled a room without you even trying. These moments replay in his mind not just as random thoughts, but as vivid scenes that pull him right back into the past. And the more they replay, the more he starts to feel the loss, because now there is no way to create new moments with you. There is no new smile, no new conversation, no new memory to add to the collection. All he has is what's already stored in his mind. And when you're gone, those memories stop being casual reminders and start becoming emotional anchors. He might remember how you supported him when no one else was there, how you celebrated his small wins, how you forgave him when he made mistakes, and every single memory that once brought comfort can now bring a sting, because it's a reminder of what he can't have anymore. He may find himself holding onto old messages, photos, or little keepsakes, not because he wants to, but because letting go of them would feel like letting go of you all over again. And sometimes he will even search for you in those memories, looking for clues, trying to figure out if you knew how much you meant to him, trying to see if there was a moment he could have done things differently. Memories have a way of becoming more powerful when they're all that's left, and they don't just visit when it's convenient. They show up when he's alone, when he's trying to sleep, when he's driving, and a song comes on that you both loved, when he passes a place you went together. And when those moments hit, they're not light or fleeting. They're heavy and consuming. He might try to push them away, but the more he resists, the more persistent they become, because the mind holds onto what it fears losing forever. And now that you are no longer in his life, those memories become a kind of treasure he didn't know he had until it was too late. He begins to realize that these aren't just random recollections. They are proof of a connection, proof of the depth you brought into his life, proof that you once loved him in a way that was pure and rare. And every time a memory comes back, it forces him to relive not only the joy of that moment, but also the pain of knowing it's over. This is why the weight of memories grows heavier with time. Because the further away you are, the more those moments feel like they belong to another lifetime, one he can't get back to, one he can only watch in his mind over and over, wishing he had done more to hold on to it when he had the chance. While time breaks him, it builds and strengthens you, because every day that passes without him in your life becomes a day you pour back into yourself. In the beginning, you might feel the weight of loss, the emptiness of someone's absence, the pull to reach out just to feel connected again. But as time moves forward, something shifts. You start to see that the same distance that's making him feel regret is giving you space to heal. You begin to reclaim the parts of yourself that were quieted in the relationship, the hobbies you forgot about, the passions you put aside, the self-care you postponed because you were too busy giving your energy to someone else. With each passing week, you feel yourself getting stronger emotionally, mentally, and even physically. You're not waking up wondering if he'll call. You're waking up thinking about what you can do for yourself today. While he's busy wrestling with memories and regret, you're learning to live fully in the present. Your confidence grows in small ways at first. Maybe it's saying yes to new opportunities, meeting new people, or making decisions without hesitation. You start to notice that your peace of mind is worth more than the comfort of being with someone who didn't truly value you. Time becomes your teacher, showing you how resilient you are, showing you that heartbreak doesn't define you. It shapes you into someone wiser and more self-assured while he's stuck looking back, wishing he had done things differently. You're looking forward, dreaming bigger, setting higher standards for what you want and need. The more he feels the absence of you, the more you feel the presence of yourself. You're not the same person who walked away. You're someone who knows how to stand on your own. You're learning that solitude isn't loneliness, it's power. And in that solitude, you discover your own voice, your own dreams, your own path, while time chips away at his pride and forces him to face the consequences of losing you. It's polishing you into someone who can't be broken so easily again. You find strength in the quiet, in the self-reflection, in the moments where you choose not to go back even when you miss the familiar. You realize you can miss someone and still not need them. You can love someone and still know they're not right for you. You can wish things had been different without wishing you were still there. As the weeks turn into months, you feel lighter, not because the memories are gone, but because you've learned to carry them without letting them weigh you down. You've taken the lessons and left the pain, and that's the kind of growth no one can take from you. While he's stuck in the loop of what ifs and should haves, you're living proof that moving forward is the most powerful response to being left behind. And the best part is, you don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove anything to him or anyone else. The change in you speaks for itself. The way you carry yourself, the way you protect your peace, the way you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, all of it shows that time didn't just heal you. It rebuilt you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than before. Your value never depended on his recognition, because who you are and what you bring to the table has always existed, whether he saw it or not. Too often, we tie our worth to how someone treats us, thinking that if they don't appreciate us, then maybe we're not enough. But the truth is, their inability to recognize your value says more about them than it ever will about you. You were valuable the moment you walked into his life. Your kindness, your loyalty, your support, your love, those things are not created by his validation. They're a part of you, they're yours, and they remain whether someone notices them or not. When he failed to see it, when he overlooked it, when he took it for granted, it didn't suddenly make you less. It simply meant he didn't have the capacity to appreciate what was in front of him. People can only see from the level they're at, and sometimes they're too distracted, too immature, or too selfish to see the worth of someone who's real. That doesn't make you less valuable. It means they weren't ready or willing to treat you right. You have to understand that gold is still gold, whether someone drops it in the dirt or puts it in a safe. A diamond doesn't stop being a diamond just because someone walks past it without noticing. You have to carry yourself with that same certainty, knowing that your value is constant, unshaken, and independent of anyone's recognition. When you start to live from that mindset, you stop chasing validation. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop bending just to make someone see what should be obvious. You begin to realize that the right people won't need convincing. They will recognize your worth immediately and treat you accordingly. And if someone can't see it, you let them go without questioning yourself. Because the moment you start measuring your value by someone else's vision, you're giving them power they never earned. You're letting their limited perception define you. And that's dangerous because people's opinions can change, their moods can shift, their interests can fade, but your worth has to remain steady regardless of those changes. He might come back one day with words of regret, saying he didn't realize what he had, but that doesn't mean your value suddenly increased. It means he finally caught up to what you already knew. And the beautiful part is you don't need his late realization to confirm anything. You were enough before him, during him, and after him. The love you gave was real whether or not he held on to it. The care you showed was genuine, even if he didn't reciprocate it. When you truly believe that, you stop giving people discounts on your worth just to keep them in your life. You start protecting your energy, your time, and your heart. You start showing up for yourself in the same way you used to show up for them. And you stop accepting half love or half effort because you know you deserve more. And the more you live in that truth, the more unshakable you become. Because no one's absence, rejection, or lack of recognition can take away what's already built into you. The value you carry is not negotiable, not temporary, and not dependent on anyone's ability to see it